Today's episode is about families, whether big, small, or somewhere in between. They have shaped our culture for 234 years, and counting.
And now to Lizzie with the word. How would you describe the American family or legacy?
I would describe the American family as anybody in your immediate family or group that you yourself identify with and that you get your beliefs and morals and just the way you live your life from, and those that you trust in.
Do you have kids?
I do not have kids.
Do you want kids in the future?
My wife and I have, I'm newly married, so I've only been married since June, and it's something that we've discussed, but, we're not sure yet where we're going to be in the future. We have, some things we'd like to do and accomplish before, kids would come into the fold. So, it's something we're definitely keeping in mind, but we're not sure about yet.
If you do have kids, what traditions would you like to pass down to them?
I think, the families we both grew up in very much respect sort of what you consider traditional traditions of, different holidays like Christmas and birthdays and Thanksgiving and Easter. But also we would instill in our kids the sense of treating people right, hard work. That's a, very, very important in my family, is just working hard to get the things that you want out of life.
How would you describe the American family?
An American family is a difficult concept to describe. It means different things to many different people. Personally, it means kind of a nuclear family, mother, father, kids. But I know that in this day and age that there's a lot of step and halves and laws and outlaws and all of that fun stuff that I don't think we'll ever actually be able to nail down a specific definition of it.
Okay. How many people are in your immediate family?
My immediate family, there are 3. My brother, my sister, and my wife.
Are there any family bonding memories?
Bonding memories? Yes.
Could you give an example of one?
Bonding memories, one of the more memorable ones is between me, my brother, and my father, where me and my brother decided to make smoothies and ended up completely trashing the kitchen, dirtying every dish in the kitchen, and then basically gave up on it and left and never heard the end of it. My dad kept complaining about he left the kitchen a mess, he left all the dishes a mess. And now every time I go through the store and I see a little can of tropical fruit salad, I just start laughing because I think of my brother and my father.
How would you describe the American family?
I think like a lot of things in America, it's much more difficult to come up with simple definitions for social and cultural traditions in this country than it is in other countries. Because I think people in this country have a lot of different traditions and bring in a lot of different ideas. So in one cultural tradition, family might mean mom, dad, a couple kids. In other families, it means grandparents, cousins, all sorts of different things. And so I think there really is no one single definition for family in the United States.
How diverse do you think your family is?
Well, it depends on how you define family for me. So I have a different definition. I've had a different definition of family throughout my life. I at one point was the youngest of 9 with a lot of stepbrothers and stepsisters. And now I have 2 adopted half-brothers. My sisters have adopted kids. One of my stepsisters growing up was adopted from Vietnam. But all that stuff has changed throughout the course of my life, and I really only have one blood-related sibling, who's my sister. But if I'm talking about the larger family, how I've come to define it over the course of my life, it's been extremely diverse. People have come from lots of different countries. So it's been diverse in that sense, but complicated, I guess. My nuclear family, I guess how you define that traditionally, is not very diverse at all. It's white.
So the American family has changed as a concept over the past past several years, really. And as I think about it, I think it's really kind of hard to define these days, but generally speaking, you get a group of people who are bound together through love and, of course, through familial connection. And this notion that it has to be mother, father, 2 kids, and maybe a dog or cat has very much changed. And so now you've got a greater acceptance of the notion of the extended family as a valid form of family, aunts and uncles playing roles as mother-father figures, and that being a very valid form of family and traditional family. Brothers and sisters, sometimes in really difficult situations, taking on some of those parental roles. So things are shifting, and that shifting is being accepted, I think, by our nation, so that's a good thing.
How has the ease of transportation, communication, and mobility changed the relationships in your family?
Well, I think it's cool that when my sister wants to get a hold of me, all she has to do is text me. So she's becoming increasingly proficient at the text messaging function. Of course, I am increasingly addicted to my telephone, and so being able to communicate. I think we live fairly close to each other, but with time and business and work schedules and kids and that sort of thing, communication is tricky. And so the fact that we have some of these tools helps out. I have one sister who lives in Florida, and so that's a trickier business in terms of seeing her, but obviously our ability to travel to each other through plane, for instance, she comes usually on the holidays, both Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so we get to see each other in that way, and of course 100 years ago that would have been much harder. So.
How would you describe the American family? Well, our American family is me and her and Daddy, but the American family could be any kids and any grown-ups that are taking care of them, I think.
Yeah, I think today's family is pretty diverse in the way it works. Lots of kids live with grandparents or aunts and uncles, and I think it's nice when you can have lots of family members around to help take care of kids, but I think it can really look like anything.
Okay, how diverse is your family? Our family is not diverse at all. It's a very typical mommy, daddy, kids family. Same for her.
Yeah, same for me.
Okay. Are there any morals your family is based on? The morals that we feel strongly about are playing with zippers. Just being a good person, giving back to those less fortunate, and that's what we like for her to grow up with. And respecting those that are different.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the morals, very similarly, that she would really appreciate the things that she has and be able to give back to those around her and really have, I guess, a good understanding of how lucky she is, but then what kind of responsibility comes with, being able to get a good education and that sort of thing, so giving back to them around it.
This object, a cell phone, is the modern representation of the American family, for better or worse. It is the medium of choice between peers, siblings, parents, and even parent-child relationships. Face-to-face contact has been replaced by the digital typage of the 21st century, but whether that is a step forward is debatable. Cell phones are a major source of social retardation, inability to communicate effectively, inability to focus on work, and though it connects you over long distances, it distances you from your close connections.
And that's the cell phone.
The cell phone.
And now, to literature and art, a presentation.
around me.
And that's the American family, and how it has changed over time.
So give your mommy a hug. Today's episode is about family. Whether big, small, or somewhere in between, they have shaped our culture for 234 years.
Probably.
Oh, wait, no. Today's episode is about family. Why did you laugh? Today's episode...
And that is the American family and how it has changed over time.
So give your mommy.
And that's the American family and how it has changed.
Don't